Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you again for joining us for this panel discussion today. We have the post-lunch session, so our job is to give our audience with some actionable insights. We can take one round of questions, and then I think it'll be interesting to open the stage to audience if there are some questions, right? To set some quick context, if we look at retail brands today, they are functioning across multiple channels, and the consumer behavior, consumer habits, their needs and their demands are very different across every channel. So the brands have to be very smart, they have to be data backed, and they have to be forward looking while their communication with the customer, in terms of the brand ambassador they onboard, in terms of the notification that goes on the application, right? So it will be interesting to see what our speakers have to say in terms of retail marketing strategies. And I like to start with you, Sandeep. Um, for Astor Mueller, if you can share, what does your strategy look like in terms of reaching out to the Indian consumer, right? And if you can highlight any particular campaign or plan of action that has worked really well to drive traffic for you.
Sure. Good morning. Sorry. Good afternoon, everyone. So, on this perspective, while I can go on a regular discussion of what we are doing with brands like Bugatti, because Aston Miller is a group of brands, it's not a single one. Let me discuss about Newbeat, a brand that we have just launched a month and a half back. Here, we've used a very different strategy of community building. So, this is a sneaker lifestyle brand, the only brand that I know of across the world which has been designed and built by musicians, for musicians, and music lovers. So, here, instead of launching the brand perspective first, we started off a couple of months before launching a community called Studio Newbeat. Here, over the past 3.5, 4 months, we have launched 10 artists who are fresh off the board. And we are trying to build a community of musicians and music lovers. And we have been reasonably successful at that. In the past 4.5 months, we have got about 135,000 odd followers, several million likes and shares. And that has helped us post the brand launch, getting traffic to both our online store and also to our partner Myntra store. So it has been an interesting journey, and community building is possibly one of the strong ways of going forward in building brand equity.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And a very important point. I mean, community building sits at the core of forward-looking personalization, which brands want to offer. Vivek, I want to get your comments here. Being human enjoys a different type of community, which is Bhaika fan following, right? For a brand which comes with so much trust and fan following already, what is your strategy to tap that newer and that younger consumer and also convert them into your loyal base?
Hi, good afternoon. Pallavi, let me update you. The community is not just Bhaika fan. There's a lot more than that. And yes, it did start with, the story did start with Bhaika fan. And Bhaika fan continues to be a large part of our audience. But what we have seen happen over past few years is when we went with the true story behind the brand, instead of it being perceived as a celebrity owned brand to being a brand which is led by purpose. So that's one thing that has helped us acquire a lot of younger, more conscious, younger, more conscious consumer. We've done multiple things. So there is no ready sort of funnel to be able to acquire youth and new consumers. Everyone has to build their own construct. I'll share with you what we have done. So we have taken few very clear decisions. One, while there is Salman's fan that continues to kind of come to the brand, we have built our own digital social community pretty strong. I mean, if you see, if you just log into Instagram and see the number of people who follow Being Human, it kind of is way more than a lot of brands which are doing bigger business than us right now. So we've gone hammer and tongs on digital social as of now, and that's one thing that's building bigger and bigger for us. So that's the first thing. Second thing is, I could look like whatever I look in the digital as a space or in my advertising, if that word exists at all in today's date, if you ask me frankly, uh, a representation of that in your physical interaction spaces, which is in our case our stores. So the stores had to move a needle. We reinvented our identity. It costs a lot of money, but it's a very, very clear decision, right? It is a fact that Salman has been the face of the brand and continues to be the face of the brand, but he's also the promoter of the brand, right? One another very key decision was to bring in a younger face on the brand, which is something that we did last year by onboarding Alize. Alize is a new actor from the family. Had a very, very interesting start. She won awards, etc., for the debut. And we brought in Alize. It did two things for us. It got the woman consumer interested, one. And second is it got the younger lot a lot more interested than they were in my brand earlier. So these three pivots. Uh, Fourth thing, which is pretty much hygiene, is I can't. I mean, I don't think any brand marketer today can stand and attract the youth and hold the youth on basis of just storytelling. You've got to sell your product. In our category, which is so full of so many SKUs, product marketing has been a very, very important lever for us. It's a lever that is unfolding. It's a lever that has been unfolding for past 3-4 seasons. And we see that playing a very, very large role, because if I look at D2C, which attracts a lot of youth, and this is something that I've learned from my friends in D2C businesses, if you are not selling your product hard enough, and not just from a context of what is the feature of the product, but really from a context of how does the product fit into that consumer's life that you're trying to target. If it is youth, are you able to give them that sense or belief that you're looking absolutely fantastic like a rock star, or sorry, a rapper in today's context? So that's what we've done.
Perfect. No, very interesting, and really love the last point that it's not just storytelling. At the end, you have to sell your product. Thank you so much for that, Vivek. Himanshu, I want to get your thoughts. You also lead a brand which is a celebrity led brand. But you operate in a very competitive space. It's the jewelry market, right? What are some of the key challenges and also a follow up on the strategies which have worked for you in marketing a luxury jewelry brand? It's a very niche space.
Uh, Thank you. Actually, good afternoon, everybody. Uh, this actually is a very important point because jewelry by itself is luxury. So now the situation is that people would go for jewelry as a last resort, with a lot of government regulations coming in, cash flow controls, things which were allowed in the past are not allowed anymore, HUID coming in. So all these are the regulations which have come in, right? And then this industry works, or rather used to work, only on trust. So you had your local babu with whom you used to get your manufacturing done, and over a period of time they would make a product for you, and they would, I mean, you would trust them. You would say that, okay, I'm going to be taking from my family babu, and my babu is going to do things for me, right? So over a period of time, what has changed, and how this industry, and specifically for luxury per se, so you've got the jewelry space broken up into non-luxury and luxury. And in luxury space, essentially, it's a three-prong, holding that we have. One is the trust, all right? Second is the cost. So, and the third and the most important is the differentiation. And these are the three things. Like, for example, when you're talking about trust, uh, it also includes how the consumer is trusting you, number one. Number two is how is it that you're mixing the culture into the product. Because, for example, if there is a South Indian type of a wedding that is there, then is your product suiting to that type of product line or that requirement? Similarly, people from Rajasthan, they have a lot of affiliation towards the Jaipuri type of settings or the Ajmeri type of settings, you know. So how are you integrating that into this entire product line, into the luxury space? How are you giving that feel and flow to the customer that, okay, you're a part of it? You know, making them a part of it is very important. And obviously, as I said, the customer perception is very important. So once you do that, and how you're getting the social integration done. So you would have people who are from different social economic backgrounds, but they now the aspiration has gone up. So somebody would like to take a product today, and then probably they would like to aspire to buy something which is more expensive. They would start saving from today for that expensive luxury product. And that is the definition of luxury which has gone in. So that is one big challenge that has happened, and we've used that to our advantage because we are able to communicate, and I think a lot of luxury groups can do this, is able to communicate how to integrate your religious, forget religious actually, even your cultural backgrounds into your product line. You know, I mean, that will really help. Cost is a very important factor. You have to control it, of course, but then there is some costs, like there are marketing costs, there are technology costs, and the most important out of all of them is the cost of education. So essentially what happens in cost of education is basically you're training your people to, to give a communication to the consumer that what is the differentiating product between you and your competitor is one, and why you should take it as a luxury product. What is the difference? I mean, how you make them feel confident of being a part of luxury. So luxury is a feeling, right? You can't personify luxury. It's something that how I feel about luxury may be different than what you would feel or anybody else would feel in that case. So luxury is a different segment altogether. So that is where a lot of spending goes. So you have got your influencers, you've got your marketing team, you've got one-to-one touch with the people, you know. So that is the part where a lot of money goes in, and I think using that very aptly is very important. That's what we've done. We've been able to gather that in a segment where we can be in direct touch with the consumers every day, every time, you know. And we take real-time information, put in technology. A lot of technology use is being done, not only at D2C level, even at like online and offline both. So a lot of technology where we put in a lot of information is gathered and analyzed. And I think the last and the most important thing is differentiating yourself as a brand and how you want to position yourself within the community, which means that if I have got multiple brands who are competing with me in the luxury space for jewelry and non-jewelry. So one of the biggest challenges, for example, we would have is the recent luxury section which is coming up is the yachts. So luxury cars is now a bygone thing. Now luxury yachts is the biggest thing. So I have to now start thinking how to compete with that. You see the level at which things have to change? It's not about wearing an Armani suit anymore. It's about how you're going to compete with the guy who's selling yachts. And India is such a big market for yachts that people have not even gone in that direction. So think of it that people are now spending and they are investing in yachts. So these are the type of thought process. So I think these are the things, and in my suggestion, if luxury is looked upon with a lot of trust building factor, it can take us a long way.
Absolutely. Excellent. Thank you so much for the inputs, Manshu. Pooja, I want to get your thoughts. You operate in a category which is very high demand and, very talked about category at the moment. Intimate apparel. Working with social media influencers, right, and content generated commerce. How do you see these two big themes making an impact in the actual business and, your marketing strategies?
Good afternoon, everybody. Well, I think social media has completely changed the way we look at business, the way we consume brands, and clearly lingerie or intimate wear is no exception to this rule. The social media influencers have actually provided a great platform, especially for lingerie, where we can showcase what we are all about in its true glory. I mean, gone are the days where, or maybe still, there are certain pockets in India where talking about lingerie is still a taboo. Like people are still very hush that, oh, what's your bra size? What's your, cup size? What's your band size? You know what I mean? And with the help of influencers, we can actually showcase that what your true size is. Like, for example, in lingerie, 80% of the women don't know what's your right bra size, right? And especially with the help of influencers, we can reach that platform, especially for the curvy size or the fuller women. What I mean is that in bras, it's no more about just the band size or the cup size. It's also about your body profile, whether you could be a 34B and two women could be 34B, but one woman could be a fuller profile and one could be a shallow profile, and both the women will need different type of bras. Again, when the women who is in her 20s versus women in her 40s, having the same bra size will have different needs. So with the help of influencers, we can actually educate the customer that, hey, listen, this is what you need. And I think right now where we are considering where bras are concerned, we actually gone are the days where we are no more about black, white or beige bras. For every outfit you need a different bra. We're actually talking about a bra wardrobe. And the same goes with bottom wear when I talk about panties or shapewear. It's a big market out there. And with the help of influencers, we can actually educate the customer that if this is what your need is, this is what you need to wear underneath. So I think influencers have played a great role. Even when I talk about the curvy women, for example, they have real life problems. For example, the women who's really heavy, problems are that her back is hurting, the bra straps are digging into her skin. She doesn't know what to do, what kind of bra to wear. I actually have a friend, when she would go to the gym, she would wear 2 sports bra. And that's a very close friend of mine, because she didn't know that what kind of bra she needs to wear when she goes to work out. Women don't know that, when you work out, there are different types of bra, whether it's a high bounce control or low bounce control, versus if you need a Zumba workout versus what you need when you're doing a yoga. So with the help of influencers, we can actually reach out to our customers and tell them that you come to us and we provide exactly what you need. So yes, lingerie being a very, very personal product with the help of influencers, it does help us to build a lot of brand trust, because once you trust a brand, then you become loyal. And I'm very, very proud to say that we at Warkol, the activities that we do, our customer loyalty rate actually crosses 62% plus right now, which is very, very high in the industry. So clearly, it's a very personal product, and with the help of influencers, we can build a better brand trust and awareness. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you so much for sharing that, Pooja. Rahul, I want to come to you, and I believe your customer base is the most difficult one. They're very choosy, right? You do a lot of partnerships with brands, right? If you can walk us through, how do you personally look at these partnerships, and also the ROI that sort of decides the visibility or the impact that these partnerships lead to?
Good evening, good afternoon, everyone. So at Kidzania, we have multiple customers. I think the customer, the child who is a 4-year-old kid is also my customer. The mother and the father are also my customer. At the same time, brands are my customers, because I want brands to invest in Kidzania. So we play on 3 playing fields. Coming back to your question about return on investment. We are not there for return on investment. I'm being very honest, and I say this to brands upfront. If brands partner with Kidzania, do not give you return on investment. We give you return on experience. And from our perspective, Kidzania is an experiential edutainment platform. Yesterday I was in Delhi and we launched a partnership with Air India. The kind of stuff Air India and Kidzania has put forth, no one in the country has seen. We got, simulators for children to fly an Air India aircraft. Correct. Now, Air India is not there for return on investment, but they're saying to say, how can they build a brand? There was a point of time for Air India when they actually lost a lot of customers because it was run by the government. But the future generation, they don't know what happened. So why not build the brand? Why not talk about what JRD did? We have brands like TVS who have partnered with us. They're teaching children about safety plus racing and motorbike racing. They're building the brand from there. Our oldest partnership is Parle biscuits, where the kid can actually realize how a biscuit Parle G is made. Now, 9 out of 10 times, when a kid goes to a hypermarket, he will buy a Parle biscuit because he knows how it is made. There's an interesting story. The CEO of Kinder Joy International had visited Kidzania in Bombay. And he saw a pot-bellied school kid sitting there and nicely enjoying his Kinder Joy, right? And he asked, did you like it? He says, I love it. So he asked him why. He said, because I made it. Now that is what, I cannot give you return on investment there. I can give you return on experience. Entertainment, edutainment, theme parks are based on experience. Nothing but experience works here. And this is what I feel. And my earlier stint was with a mall company. That is what's going to happen is where everybody is talking about experiences. Experiences are going to be the big differentiating factor between retail brands, malls, whatever you say, because we are living in a digital world, right?
Wonderful. Thank you so much for that, Rahul. And you're right, experiential retail is the big core theme of the future of retail. Thank you for that. Rajesh, I want to get your thoughts. If we look at Ink5, it's a legacy brand, and you enjoy very strong presence across offline and online. How do you decide and manage your marketing strategies between these two channels, and has your thought process behind it changed in the last few years because online has sort of gained some presence?
Yeah, hi. Good afternoon. Uh, we run a brand called Ink5. We are there in the industry for almost 25 years now. Coming to the piece by piece of your question, the first thing I'll answer is the online penetration, what has been done. So we were not so sure about how footwear will work online till COVID hit us. Pre-COVID, we were at 8-9% of the revenue, which was just with the Mintras of the world. But post-COVID, we saw a significant, movement on that vertical, and today we are almost 20% of the entire revenue comes from online. Having said that, online works on a couple of two things where the half of the partners, aggregators work only focus on discounts, where we need to control the discounts, whether it's a marketplace, omni-channel, or SO, or whether the merchandise is lying at that warehouse or your warehouse. That is very critical because we play at a very sweet spot. Footwear pricing. We don't have any community. We don't have a buy behind us to promote the goods, or we don't have a Johar at us. So our product is the hero. We won't say that we are a mass brand, but yes, we do a little premiumization. When you enter a typical our store, you will see the difference the way we have made our store. We have a more penetration towards malls. So 90%, 95% of my stores are across all the malls, all top malls in the country. And post-COVID, again, negotiating with the malls, how tough it was, we've taken a route that we should go the high street market also. So that becomes easy to negotiate also. And, there's lots, India, as the population says, there's huge high street market also to do that. And as I said, price points are very sweet. Also, marketing thing, yes, we do a lot of digital now, as that's probably the ratio is exceptionally well, going to the typical, billboards or the hoardings or the newsprint. So digital works for us now. Also, what campaigns, what we do, we stick to it. We use the same language across all the platforms. So there's no special creative for a Myntra or a Flipkart where the whole target audience is different. But my campaigns would be the same, where they could resonate, they could connect the brand immediately. Also, what offers, what we give across the all the platforms is same. Maybe the last checkout offer must be, that extra 5% must be at Myntra or Flipkart, or maybe card discount. That is not in our control, so we don't take that one burn on that also. Also, another thing is the customer data, what we've collated over last almost 25 years is huge with us. So we use a great CRM. We have built few funnels at the office also, at the back end, where we target according to the spend power. Maybe it's a one-timer, which is a discount seeker, which comes around the end of season sale, which comes when we send a personalized SMS to them, or when we do a store launch of 20%. So we have done a lot of funnels for that, and we we consciously spend a lot of time on that, analyzing what kind of audience, because calling the customer back is the beauty now. There's so many things at your disposable. You can shop right from here, from your car. You don't need to go to the store. There are offers, there are the payment getaway offers. So you need to very careful what product you're selling and what are the offers. So the price point, and getting the customer which has turned to your store once, who has done an effort to enter your store, to get back, is the beauty. And that's what we are focusing on it. Also, last but not the least, customer support is the key. I mean, anybody who's from retail, keep your customer support so neat and responsive, whether he's bought from a Myntra, Flipkart store, a Shoppers Lifestyle. We treat him like, boss, tune mera jodi liya hai, so you are my customer, so we will take care of you. Because if that customer loses, then it's again 600-700 rupees you take to get a customer acquisition. So we work very tightly, and on this same grounds. We don't have the money to get anybody as a face of the brand or no, because it's still time for us to go there. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Rajesh. I think great insights by everyone. We still have good 4 minutes with us, so we can quickly open the stage to the audience if there are any questions. No, I don't think there are any questions. All right.
Post lunch also is with the lights dimmed.
We couldn't wake them up.
Right. So I'll just, I have one quick question. Quick commerce is currently the talk of the town, right? Are all of you considering, in your boardroom discussions, considering quick commerce as a channel to market your brand? We start with Manshu.
Absolutely, that's the way it's going to be in future. There is no doubt quick commerce is the way further. Delivery schedules, because the customer doesn't want to wait. Luxury means not waiting. Luxury means to be able to get something when the customer needs it. Has to be there.
Sandeep.
Well, we're still not on the quick commerce apps because footwear as a category is still not reached there. However, when it comes to experience, our stores already is doing the servicing. So there are several customers who are having our store managers on their phone directories. So we do get calls which we are then home delivering their products within the next half an hour or 45 minutes. And since we are high ASP, it's manageable, but for, let's say, a lower price point, it might become a challenge. So that's a balance that one needs to probably figure out. But yes, we are already there.
Very interesting. Thank you. Rajesh?
For us, I mean, being very honest, it's no for us, because so many dark stores, you don't know what inventory. My module is inventory heavy module. So typically, if you enter to a Phoenix Palladium or Oberoi, you'll find 6,000 pairs each stores. So I can't, list 20 products on the quick commerce and get my inventory blocked there. And every 2 kilometers, or I was studying a report, every 2 kilometers there is one dark store. I mean, how do I manage that inventory? Again, it's on a SOR basis. I mean, how in the world I could manage that? So as of now, quick commerce is no, but I don't know. Maybe going forward there may be a tag pin code wise. I don't know. But having said that, for our store, we have an app which real-time inventory, which is exposed, all 100 stores inventory is exposed on the app, on the cash counter, and if that size is not there, it is bought there and it's shipped real time. So we are there in quick commerce, but in our own quick commerce. But this doesn't excite me as of now.
Thank you for that.
I think quick commerce doesn't apply to us at all, because we want people to come to us. We want them to get off their phones and come. We want the kids to stay off the phone. But saying that, I have different audiences also. I have the brands. I want the parents to know what we are doing, correct? So the ad what we released yesterday or what we are doing in digital, just the case of yesterday's example, where we had a QR code where the kids can actually, or the parents can scan and see what we are doing with Air India in the lounge and the Aviation Academy sitting at home. So I'm saying those are the aspects what we are trying to do. We are trying to figure out more ways and means to reach out to them where they can buy tickets for us. So any Air India frequent flyer can buy a Kidzania ticket on the Air India website. So I'm saying they are the small things what we'll end up doing. But yeah, quick commerce is no for me.
Got it. Vivek?
We are about 100 odd people in the room. Okay, if you can hear me, I'll ask you a question. If your answer is yes, give me a show of hands. How many of you want a t-shirt delivered to you in 7 minutes? So you guys have answered for me. But having said that, quick commerce has opportunities for brands like us, not necessarily to sell. But can I use quick commerce because the consumption is huge? It's madness. I mean, Swiggy Instamart delivers to everyone's household at least 6 times a day. Boss, I will use it to get inside your house with some way or the other, and that's the space that we're exploring. Frankly, I don't want to sell on quick commerce as of now, unless I have products that you wanted in next 7 minutes, and I want at least 50 hands up.
Thank you for that, Vivek. Pooja, I think I want you to ask the same question to all the women in the room. Yeah.
How many of y'all really want a bra delivered to you within like 7 minutes? Literally 7 minutes? Seriously? Okay.
I think that really answers you. You got to list yourself on.
Well, my thought is that, like Vivek said, that it's not really that you really need a bra or a t-shirt delivered to you in the next 7 minutes. It's not that bread or butter that you're buying. But clearly, customers spoiled for choices right now, and she wants something immediately. She wants it now. So yes, quick commerce is something that we cannot ignore it. It is there to stay. The way I put it, it's not a must-have. It's a good to have. And if you can work out the economics, then fair enough. But it's definitely not on my radar right now. Like the way Sandeep said, that even we are managing the business same way through a phone callings, but technically it's not a viable project for us. And I'm back to the same thought process. It's not a must-have, it's a good to have. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Sorry, I just want to add one thing. All the apparel retailers, including brands like Wakol, are struggling today to do the same day delivery on their omni-channel. I'm telling you very frankly, that's the truth. People may claim कि मैं कर देता हूँ एक दिन में. That's not the truth. Let's get that going first. Same day delivery from our stores on our omni-channel orders. We'll look at quick commerce when it is ready for it. Can't burn money on that.
Absolutely. So again, very interesting point. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So, specific to marketing strategies, my name is Santosh Srivastava and I'm from Business Now India. So, specific to marketing strategies, the biggest challenge which the younger brands and the smaller brands without a brand ambassador face is creating a content which can engage people. Today, there is a lot of clutter on the social media. Every brand is posting 4, 5, 6 times a day. So, how do we create a cost-effective content which can actually create engagement with the target audience? Your probably words of wisdom on that from all the panelists. It's open for all.
I think what I started off with in addressing the first question kind of is what you are asking. We have recently launched a brand called Newbeat where we don't have any stars. So instead of focusing on that, we started off with the purpose of the brand. Shoes made by musicians for musicians. Then we have worked on building a community around it. So we have launched over 10 musicians over the last 3-4 months. And we have seen significant number of people coming back there. Though the numbers are still not very large in terms of sales, but we are seeing significant growth day on day. This is still beginning because the brand is only 2 months old. But here we are focused on building a community of genuine users. So here we have musicians who are creating music, and as a brand we are launching them, and the videos actually have our products on them. So it is kind of reverberating the entire thesis of genuine users. So over a period of time, I would want to take it to a situation where if you want to go to a club in the evening to chill out, here is a pair of sneakers from Newbeat. So we start off with the innermost circle of musicians, then we graduate onto music plus dance, and the larger circle outside would be for music lovers which will probably be 90% of this room or of the larger world. So that's how I would do it if I had limited budgets and no stars. Community, niche, and then slowly go mass.
Sorry. You mentioned the word brand ambassador and whether people have the budgets to. Also, there's a lot of clutter in the digital world with everybody doing reels and influencers, and you don't know how many are fake and how many have bought. I think the minute a brand starts considering the customers as the brand ambassadors, their problem gets solved. Because a customer's approval, word of mouth, is one of the strongest marketing tools, which unfortunately we are not using that much. We're still wanting to go back and talk to influencers, pay them certain amount of money, do a barter, get a brand ambassador, and so on. You have a brand ambassador, great, correct? But tomorrow when a customer endorses and he speaks to one person, he speaks to a second person, your product will sail through. Your customers are your brand ambassadors. That's what it is.
So I think very well said. And how do we motivate that consumer to create the user-generated content? I mean, some specific strategies which you can suggest where your consumer gets motivated to create the content for you and upload it.
Absolutely. I think that's what we also try and do is we never stop any parent from using their phones. So Kidzania is anti-phones. We don't want, because we want the kids to stay away from phones. But tomorrow from the marketing perspective, when a customer or the parent is using or making a reel, we actually endorse it. Use it. We will award you if you tag us. But that's how it's a user-generated content created by parents, or in this case, a customer, works wonders. Trust me.
Thank you so much for that. If there are any more questions, we can definitely take them offline in the interest of time. Thank you again, everyone, for joining us today.